Welcome to Story Ideas on the Fly, where we pull a random idea out of the hat and develop it into something at least.
All right, let's see what we got today. Whoops. Says zombie comedy.
Oh,
Comedy.
I wish it would give us a little more because there's lots of ways to go with this.
Yeah, that's a
Should we
very
have
vague one.
Should we have a single character be a zombie? Should we have it in a zombie apocalypse, or should we have it so that just
Well, the
50%
zombie
of
in the high
population is-
school's been done too many times.
okay?
So
So
that's-
then,
well,
not
does
that
that mean we're
many
going with
times.
something like
Okay,
it's
it
a zombie
has been
apocalypse
done,
and then make
yes.
it a comedy?
So zombie apocalypse. Let's go with full-on zombie
What if a
apocalypse.
partial zombie apocalypse?
But instead of
No,
zombies,
let's do the zombie apocalypse. The zombies are worried that they're going to be wiped out.
Ah.
Because we always
Oh, that
look at
could
the
be
zombie
fun.
apocalypse going, the zombies are going to take over. No, the zombie apocalypse, poor them, they're going to be taken over.
no, I was thinking, yeah, we do it from the perspective of the zombies, and instead of like constantly getting into battles with humans, I don't know. There are multiple ways you could go along this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now
Well,
here's
if you're
what
going
I
from
want
the
to...
perspective of the zombies, that actually does help you out a bit, because zombies are honestly pathetic.
Yeah.
My question is
They
this.
can be funny.
We don't have
In
to
this
go
case.
with necessarily classic zombies. You know, we could put our
Mhm.
spin on it. What is a zombie? A zombie obviously is going to be some sort of undead. Why are they undead?
Undead corpse. Usually they like to eat brains, and that's basically the only consistent things about them. Is you raise a corpse.
They don't necessarily
Undead.
have to eat brains per se, but somehow survive off of humans.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mhm.
think. Okay, so why
You have a
would
version
where
that's a
do
little
you know,
cleaned up?
yeah, the whole eating brains is just kind of gross. Not that I haven't written gross things before, but let's just
I'm with you.
especially with
I think
his
zombies
influence.
are gross.
Okay, so let's get the zombies are why are they zombies? How did they become undead?
Okay, what is it? What are you laughing at?
It's supposed to be a comedy. Go ahead.
So you have a group of zombies, and they're hungry, and they really want to eat this one guy's brain, but the guy's crazy and has managed to genetically modify plants.
Think
Yes,
zombies.
he's making it so that there are sunflowers that actually help produce sunlight, or he's making grow a plant that
Oh my God, zombie
Not
comedy.
somebody
You're gonna
else's.
make me forget. We got a zombie comedy.
I did, but you told me what I was thinking of.
One idea, and you're making me forget it. Okay, what was it? Somebody tell me what my idea was, quick. I
It
forgot.
was your idea.
Okay. Okay, we were saying zombie comedy. Okay, so this idea of the zombies have this big problem because they suck off brains. They don't necessarily eat them, but they suck off them. They survive. Their energy
From psionic
is
energy.
intelligence. Yes, is in energy. Well, the problem is humans are becoming so freakishly stupid that they have no food anymore. So the zombie apocalypse is
Oh, so like the meme
because-
where the zombies going brains, and then you see the one guy with the sign that says the Earth is flat, and the zombie looks at him and he's on brains.
So they're going. So then the zombies, to save their society, have to educate the human.
So that
That
So
sounds like
comedy. So the zombies have to educate humans.
oh man, stop being stupid.
So
Wait,
okay.
Well, maybe the reason why people are becoming so stupid is because zombies are eating their intelligence.
I don't think we make them eat their intelligence. Hey, humans can become stupid on their own. They don't need zombies' help. Look at our society,
we're pretty good at being stupid.
So, well, I hope we are.
Two
but,
things that are infinite: the universe and human stupidity. And I'm not so sure about the universe.
right. Okay, so let's
right.
suppose that these zombies, they get their energy from
Mhm.
a psionic energy intelligence. The reason that
Yeah.
people look
Makes
at
it sound
them
like
as
zombies
being
are a psionic play
Right.
kind of thing.
so they're a psionic being,
Yeah.
form of undead, and
feed
Or
yeah.
they use the psionics and intelligence in order to basically fuel the energy that animates them. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
So now people are looking at the zombies as they're so stupid. It's because they're lacking food, but they're
Gotcha.
not really stupid. They're just,
Yeah.
lacking in food. So they then have to how are they going to educate the populace?
People. What are people doing that's making them this stupid? I mean, everyone can.
Honestly,
Well,
a
okay.
lot of it is
We could get
social
into the
media.
real world consequences and like what people are really doing in real life, but at that point
Okay.
you're getting like political and stuff like that, and
Fair enough.
you don't want to get too
I'm
much
just
into
thinking
that
if
stuff.
you had something ridiculous that humans came up with to, fix the zombie problem that ended up being, super stupid, that I could see humanity going, oh no, zombies are attacking. What do we do?
Put
That's
gun
so
muffs
hard.
on. That way they can't smell your brains. I can see us doing
What
that.
the zombies could be, and you
Mhm.
could I'm never for preaching really or going political in my books. If you want to make a political statement, sure, but you can do those undertones. You don't have to do those.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to say let's go pick an issue like, hey, people can't tell these days the difference between a boy or a girl or something, but you could have the fact that these people are so afraid of these zombies, and that's one of the things making them do these stupid things.
Yeah, they're so
And so these
stupid.
two things are playing off of each other.
Fair enough. They're so scared that
Please
they
go see
are
what that was.
they're so afraid that they're finding ways to chase away the zombies that are just sheer stupid, and
But it works because it's so stupid that the zombies leave him alone.
zombies are leaving them alone. So then they go, "Hey, this works."
Okay, now this is comedy. Great, it said zombie comedy.
Yeah.
If you want to do
it
a
could
spoof,
be half the story could be people trying to figure out ways to deal with the zombies.
Where
And the dumbest things they do tend to work the best. And so you could almost have it be almost a comedy of errors where people keep on coming up with dumber and dumber methods to avoid the
to
zombies.
chase away the zombies. Meanwhile,
Okay.
the zombies are going.
Look, we don't
Humans
actually
are so
hurt
stupid, we
people.
wanna
We
keep
just
them
we just
alive.
want to find intelligent people.
Okay, so where would you set
What is
this?
wrong with TikTok?
Where would you set this?
Where would we set this?
Modern day.
Well, yeah. You
It's
could
a
do
zombie
it at a
apocalypse.
school.
They're almost always in
You
modern
could do
day.
Yeah,
it,
but I mean,
although
are we
with a zombie
focusing-
apocalypse, would we have this time for
I'd
school?
imagine it being kind of
Well,
like a city.
Or
Okay.
maybe
True.
in a neighborhood,
But if you're
a
wanting to
community.
find one of the dumbest demographics, teenage boys. We are one of the dumbest demographics.
It could be a group of zombies.
Yeah, but
When
if
a lot of
zombies
Darwin
show up,
works, right?
a group of
show up,
zombies
I'm not sure
live.
you're the ones I'm most worried about doing something stupid.
So a group of zombies go
Are
into
you
this
sure one of us
city,
might
Let him
shove
talk.
and
into a
they
horse?
start
That's
looking
pretty
around for psionic intelligence to reanimate themselves or to fuel their reanimation. And what you then do is the first people they encounter are just this group of teenagers hanging out in the park or something.
A
Whatever.
bunch of boys doing something stupid with their skateboards or something.
Yeah, and then they notice the zombies first, and they go, "Oh, zombies have reached our town," and then they start telling people, and they start coming up with stupid things to do to prevent the zombies from coming closer. And yeah, you just could have it be just a constant downward spiral of people
That could
end
be
up being more
interesting.
stupid, which leads the zombies to start trying to
Okay.
get people to be smart. But since the zombies are acting, people
Uh-huh.
act more
Okay.
stupid to counter them.
I like
Now-
setting it in a small town, a small
I like
community.
in a small town would be a good
Because then you can
setting for this.
establish more characters, and your zombies don't just go to the next house over or the next building over if everybody's stupid.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions because one thing with comedy, if you try to say, I'm going to just do comedy for the sake of comedy, that works great at a comedy club, stand-up comedian. It
Or
does
for
not,
short sketches.
right, or for
but
short
does not
sketches.
make
It does not
full
write a
stories.
book.
Yeah, full
So-
story, you have to have something.
Right. So if we look at
a
technically
real
the
story.
definition of comedy, it just means, hey,
Funny
you know,
stuff.
Funny stuff.
well, actually,
No,
it just
technically
kind
the
of means
definition means that the hero doesn't die in the
Right.
end.
it's not a
Fair enough.
tragedy. But we can make it a funny story with a funny situation. You can do it farcical. Okay, classic farce. My favorite farce out there, I'll put in a plug for it, even though, it's not us. Galaxy Quest.
Yes.
Mhm.
They do a really good job of taking a totally farcical situation
And treating it like
and
it's
really
serious.
treating it, yes, which is what you're supposed to do, and really treating
Yeah.
and really putting depth into it. So how do you take
Okay.
this? Who's your main villain? How do you educate them? How do we take this very farcical situation and really put some depth into it?
Okay. For the main villain, what you do is you don't have him be like any specific. You don't model him off after anyone who's real in
Right.
real life, because that would get political. But you have him be he's a pseudo con man, pseudo politician,
Mhm.
lawyer type person, where he's really high up in the world, and he relies on basically tricking people in order to to get to his position. So
Mhm. No, that would
That would
be a
work.
he
good
could be a
person.
statistician. Lies,
Well,
darn
how
lies,
does
and
he-
statistics, right?
Yeah.
But
Well, how would he exploit the situation?
so, well, what
Well, if you
Well,
go
you have
with
him be causing the situation is what I'm saying.
If you're
Fair
going
enough.
with like about every romance little movie ever, the small town is always in danger of the big corporation coming in and trying to tear down.
So what you do
the-
is you have this
Yeah,
guy,
but the-
and you can make
Yes.
it. I like making him some kind of politician, but instead of he's not coming in to fix problems, he's causing problems to fix them and tricking everyone into thinking that he didn't cause the problems.
So he's trying to make
Yeah.
himself look good by solving
well,
the
and he's
problems
feeding
he's
off
created.
of the fear because
Feeding off the
people
fear,
who are
but
afraid
he's
are
also
very
he's
easy
feeding
to
off the fear,
manipulate.
Okay.
and he's intentionally trying to make people not think as much, because if they think too much, they might realize that he's the one causing half the problem.
Okay.
So he's intentionally trying to sabotage education and common sense and stuff like that.
How about this? I've got it. Okay, we have zombies. We're already not in reality.
You're about to throw in vampires, aren't you?
I'm not necessarily vampires, but can we throw in another race? If we can have zombies, we can have another race. So let's throw in another race, and maybe there's not very many of them, or maybe he, wherever, I don't know how, where they come from. We'll have to work on that. He feeds off of fear.
Mm.
And so the zombies are feeding off of intelligence.
Yeah.
He is feeding off of fear.
Maybe even more specifically,
That's
the intelligence of
interesting.
choice and rational thought, and the higher brain functions. Whereas, which is
While
all
the
getting
other
shut
guy,
down
while the
when
other guy is
everyone's
focused,
afraid.
wants to feeds off the fight or flight instinct. So it would be fear and
he's
violence.
Specifically,
Fear, violence, and maybe any very strong negative emotion like anger or
No. I don't think you make it a strong
violence
negative
goes
emotion.
with a
No, I
yeah.
think you make it
Good.
specifically
Okay.
Fight or
almost
flight.
panic, the fight or flight instinct, those base instincts.
Okay.
And so then you could have this dichotomy of the higher brain functions that the zombies feed off of, and these very base. So you'd make them fear, but violence and very base emotions like
Lust?
that would work. Lust, hunger, and
basically primitive
primitive
primal
emotions.
emotions.
The
Okay,
kind of
so
things you would
primal-
expect a
okay.
reptile to feel. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, those
Okay,
kinds of
primal.
things.
So where does he come from? How do we get this other race in here?
Well, where did the zombies
Hmm.
come from?
Well, that's a good question.
Okay, so the zombies are basically people who died, who probably through a mix of who through higher brain functionality, something about that brought them back. It's just probably just a natural part of the universe. But I think the key is that these were very rational people in life.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because their higher brain functions are so powerful, I think the zombies would lose a lot of their lower brain functions, so they wouldn't feel fear at all. They could go into a fight, have a gun at their head, and it's like, okay, I know, okay,
That's 3 millimeters across.
I eat it.
no, not eat it. It's like, okay, if you
Alright.
but they'd be very calm about it because they don't feel that primal fear, that fight or flight instinct. They
And
go,
they also-
okay,
that
so
would
I
also
have to
probably
prevent
make it
this
so
guy
they
from
have
pulling
stuff
the
like
trigger because
trouble
otherwise
with
it will blow my
Okay,
brain out.
motor
And
functions, because motor functions are often a lot more primal pieces of our brain
Yeah.
doing
Okay.
which is why
in
they
that
shamble.
case, where this guy came from, because these particular people became zombies because of the way their brains functioned. and
Mhm.
most people, are not going to become zombies because these
No, only
people
very intelligent
these
people will
have a
become
very
zombies.
intelligent
So Einstein would be a
amniotic.
zombie in this
Right.
universe.
Okay, well, what if you had someone where, yes, very intelligent, but had some kind of mutation,
Mhm.
and
Actually,
he becomes the
What if
villain?
instead of this of making him a zombie but different, what if you made it something else entirely? Nightmares. Have
Would that mean that he's not born from like intelligent, like dying and then coming back, but he was actually born from like
from
collective
emotions,
people's
from
fear
multiple
coming
people
together.
having like nightmares and basically
Oh, I mean,
when
we're
a
already
large
dealing
enough
with psionic
yeah.
capabilities,
Well,
so
yeah, I'm pretty sure supernatural things
or
come from
maybe
psionics in this world.
you are-
So, what if you had a race of, and I'm just calling them nightmares for now, but of nightmares born from that primal terror, and they'd be a lot more rare in our modern days because a lot of people wouldn't. We have a lot of higher education. We're not sitting there out in the cold wondering if a bear's going to eat us at night.
Mhm.
you don't do that. I'm joking.
But so they'd be a lot more rare, but people still feel those emotions all the time.
Yeah.
And so if something happens, they'd probably be associated with events that made enough people terrified, like
like
an
a
explosion
tornado
or
or
natural
a power
disaster.
plant
Or-
melting, or
And so then when something like this happened, lots of people basically were spent the next few nights terrified, and that's what
Mhm.
creates these nightmare creatures. And since they feed off these primal emotions, they then go and try to cause more of it, try to basically pull humanity back from their higher thoughts down to the fight or flight. It's like something terrifying. Ah!
Okay, so who's your hero?
Your hero is a
he's
zombie.
a zombie, definitely a zombie.
Yeah. So how does he gain the humans' trust and make friends with them?
That could be a lot of what the story is. This is
Yes.
just like a lot
Well,
of the
'cause
story
when he
could
first
be
just tries
he
to
sees
approach
this
them and go,
problem.
"Hey, I'm nice," they're
Or
gonna
actually,
run
you'd
away.
probably be going, "Ugh."
I think they can talk in this.
I
And then
think
he
they have to
mentally is
learn
going,
to talk.
"Oh,
Right.
fascinating. My boy Ice isn't working properly. It must have been because that was a subconscious process."
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
I think zombies would have to relearn how to speak, and even
And
then it would
maybe
be
relearn
difficult.
how to
Okay.
walk.
And
Well,
relearn how to
we've
walk. That's why
got-
they shamble. Is because a lot of the subconscious things our brains do, zombies can't do. It's only the conscious mind.
Okay, so we've got this villain, and he's in this small town, and he's trying to enrage them. He's trying to bring out these primal things. What does he do to do that? Because we've got to get this to build and climax. What's he going to do? What's
one
our
of the
plot?
things
Well,
he
I think
probably ended up
first
doing
he-
is he tried to build up more fear towards the zombies,
Yeah, I think
exaggerate
first
the
he
danger,
I
exaggerate.
think first thing he does is release the zombies onto the population.
Yes.
Then yeah, he starts kind of trying to sow fear.
Well, I think
tell
he'd not
people
only
to be
so fear about
terrified.
the zombies, but he'd create problems. And I don't think he can create
Yeah.
the zombie problem. He can make it easier for zombies to move into this town. But I think a lot of things he would do is things like burn down buildings.
And then say the
Or-
zombies did it.
No, not even the zombies did it. The zombies are terrifying enough without having extra
Fair enough.
reasons. It would just be cause as many different things. So if the only thing you're afraid of is zombies, then you can just prepare for zombies. But if you're afraid of zombies, arsonists, random serial killers, and things like that, and you know your town has at least 4 of those things,
Oh,
suddenly you're going to be sitting at night and it's just like, okay, well, if zombies might approach from the front, so secure that, and the serial killer might approach from the back door, and you just start freaking out about
people.
bunches
Okay.
of
So
possibilities.
so question: what would he do
Well, we have
if
to
he
keep it
got
funny.
when we start seeing the Well, you can have a lot of fun things in this.
This is
But
true.
when he's got whether it's funny or dark is more how it's written. But we've
Mhm.
definitely got the potential for funny in this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Just sheer off the
where
ridiculousness.
is what
of
would
it.
he do if he was very desperate? Final thing.
Probably. Okay, that might get a little. It might get a little dark, but you could probably do this comedically as well. Go full blown terrorist type thing, and just bomb threat. That's what he would do.
Yeah, probably.
It's just like because it gets a lot of people terrified if they think a bomb is in the building they're in. So he just says, "Hey, yeah, the public square. I put a bomb in there," and
And
suddenly
then the normal people are going,
wait,
Well, he could.
here.
One
And
thing
the
he
zombies
could,
are going, where would he have put this thing? What is the most optimal place to
The
put a
other
bomb?
thing is we could
Where
also
would he
go.
hide it? There's only so many places. It's an open area that people hang out at.
He could expose himself as he could expose that nightmares exist
Yeah.
and some things
Mhm.
like this. There's a lot he could do. Okay,
There's a lot he
we
could
could
do.
take this a lot longer, but
Yeah, I think that we have
I
a
think
villain.
sometimes we need to do some videos where we take some of these ideas that we've developed and actually
And
do
develop a
more
little
into how
further.
would you really
Next
write
step.
them. But right now we just come out, get basic
We
plot,
only have so much
settings,
time.
villain, right?
Anyway,
So, let us know what your ideas are. If you have some good ideas on how to make it funny, on what all the villain would
And
do.
would you like to see us develop stories a step further?
Yeah,
and if you have more ideas for the hat, we would love to have some more. And if you have more ideas of how I can torture these two, also give me those.
all right. We'll see you next time.